It's probably useful to look at the benefits and impact of biotech crops in 2013 by considering them under four categories. First, the improved productivity, which drives income. Second, what the technology has done in terms of biodiversity. Third, and very important, what has been the environmental impact. And fourth, humanitarian benefits. What has been the contribution of this technology to the alleviation of poverty? Looking at improved productivity and income, the farm income gains in 2013 was $117 billion US dollars. That's for the period 1996 to 2012. Now, approximately half, 58% to be exact, was associated with lower production costs. This is due to decreasing the number of sprays, decreasing the number of applications of insecticides in general. But 42%, the other half, was due to an increase in productivity, and that totals 377 million metric tons over the 17-year period, 1996 to 2012. Now, one of the very important questions to pose is that if you had to produce that 377 million metric tons with conventional technology, how many more hectares would it take? And the answer is it would take you another 123 million hectares with conventional technology. So really what we are saying is that biotech is a land-saving technology. Very important feature, because currently we have 1.5 billion hectares of land on a global basis for crops, and there's little room for expansion. So from a policy point of view, biotechnology allows us to implement the strategy of sustainable intensification. What does that mean? We need to have a strategy that focuses entirely on the 1.5 billion hectares of cropland that we have globally. If we can do this, this also means that we can take the pressure off forests in areas like the Amazon. We can focus on the more productive land in terms of crop production, and also in terms of decreasing the pressure on sanctuaries of biodiversity, like Teosinte in Mexico. We know that we lose something like 13 million hectares of forest every year in the tropical countries, and of course this is not sustainable. So that's a very important point that we're making here, that we can increase productivity at the same time that we protect biodiversity. How about environmental impact? A very important subject. What the technology basically allows you to do is to reduce the need for external inputs. We expect that we will have a significant saving of around 500 million kilograms of pesticides during the period 1996 to 2012. And that will be equivalent to something like 8% to 9% of the total crop protection market, which is about 65 billion per year. In addition, when used in conjunction with low-till or no-till, and that is what this technology is capable of doing, you can reduce CO2 emissions. It's estimated that in 2012 alone, we were able to decrease CO2 emissions by an order of 27 billion kilograms. Now that is the equivalent of taking 12 million cars off the road for 1 year. A very significant contribution to climate change as we face the new challenges that climate change will bring over the next decades. At the same time, in terms of the environment, we can impact on conservation of soil and water. Water is particularly important because water in agriculture is key. We use 70% of all the fresh water in the world. So this conservation of water through using the technology in conjunction with low-till is extremely important. The last of the four benefits is the humanitarian benefits. And if Norman Borlaug, the 1970 Nobel Peace Laureate, was with us today, he would indeed say this is the most important benefit. The contribution to poverty alleviation has been significant. And we believe that 16.5 million small farmers using this technology in the developing countries have gained significantly from that technology. What does that mean? It means welfare benefits. It means that you have increased income, surplus income, to spend on the education of the children, to buy more adequate quantities of food, to provide better health care. So we believe that this saving for small, resource-poor farmers is a very important one. More specifically, we can look to countries like China, which has 7.5 million small farmers. How small is small? Less than half a hectare, benefiting from this technology. In terms of increased income, less exposure to insecticides, and a better quality of life. Similarly, in India, you have 7.3 million small farmers benefiting from the technology, and a further 400,000 benefiting in a country like the Philippines from the use of Biotech maize. So in total, the impact of biotechnology crops in 2013 has continued to be very significant. And I believe that the potential for the future is enormous.